The voice in your head is not your essence. It is a function of the mind, a conditioned mechanism. The inner speech is nothing more than a blend of learned labels. It is not original or intrinsic to who you are. It is a product of your environment, upbringing, culture, and experiences. It is the conditioned mind. And had you been raised in a completely different set of circumstances, the inner voice would be entirely different. Your inner mental landscape and the stories you tell yourself will shift moment to moment and throughout your lifetime. There is nothing real or permanent about the mental storyteller. As human beings, the mind weaves together stories that stem from common core narratives such as, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve happiness or love, I'm a bad person, I'll fail if I try, if only I had what they have, I must fix this person or situation, the world is a scary place. If I can control everything, then I'll be safe. I need to achieve this to feel complete. People see me like this, so I have to maintain this image. This is who I am and I can't change. It's their fault I feel this way. Life is unfair and I'm powerless to change it. If I let go, I'll lose everything. I don't belong here. I'll be happy when. These common core narratives are stories of the mind that are born out of a tiny notion of self. The egoic mind is not conscious of itself. It does not realize its place within the greater whole. It is a mechanism that allows for the soul to navigate a human lifetime. You see, the mind, it enables us to create. It births thoughts into existence. It is a metaphorical womb. This womb is a total breeding ground for thoughts. It gives birth to tiny formless entities that we call thoughts, and these little beings want to survive, and we feed them with our attention, allowing them to multiply and thrive in our mind space. And these days, it seems that there is an infestation of thought in the mind space. Thought has taken over and has imprisoned the human being. But nonetheless, whether you are a spiritual seeker or not, in this lifetime, we all possess a deep inner knowing of our truth, and we therefore can all remember at any given moment that our truth extends far beyond the limitations of the conditioned mind and this false sense of self. And we can actually experientially realize this in any moment by just resting in pure awareness, just stopping thought and seeing that we still exist. We go about our daily lives and we forget our truth because thoughts are all-consuming and hypnotic. The mind mechanism functions like a loop, repeating these thoughts around and around to reinforce its false identity, to fill the empty space and to control. Yes, our essence runs infinitely deeper than the mind, and yet we let the mind mechanism incessantly tell its stories, blocking our ability to be present in the now and invoking uncomfortable feelings based on a false present moment experience. And we trust the mind. We believe the stories because if we derive our sense of self from the voice in the mind, of course we will believe all that it says. If there's no bigger picture, and if there's no self beyond the inner narrator, of course we take what it says to be true. But through expanding our awareness, we awaken to deeper dimensions of self. We awaken to our truth and our freedom beyond the storytelling mind. And we become the witness. We see the stories of the mind. We rise above them and we observe them coming and going. And we pick and choose which stories to entertain and which to let go of, which ones we will nurture and allow to grow, and which ones we will drop. It is much like tending to a garden and pulling out the weeds. But importantly, we work with the mind gently and lovingly, just like we would work with our garden gently and lovingly. We don't want to forcefully, aggressively project hate and resistance upon the mind in any way, because that will just propel it and feed it more. In order to really awaken the awareness that we need to drop troublesome thoughts and deeply come to know that the mind is simply producing a set of illusory stories, we have to bring through our inner stillness. We have to find spaciousness in the mind. We have to awaken the witness consciousness. This is where our essence can shine through. It is where we can learn to live more from the deeper dimension of self and less from the dimension of mind. The mind's obsession with thinking and maintaining the false sense of self ultimately clouds the sky of pure awareness, restricting our ability to see the present moment. And the present moment is our reality. When we are thinking, we are in a dream state. Notice how awareness dissolves into a particular dimension when you are thinking and lost in thought. It's a bit hazy, it's a bit cloudy, and then we make that switch into the present moment, and suddenly we're alert, we're awake, we are here. And our awareness has made a leap into a completely different dimension of existence. And many live their entire lives in the dream state, solely identified with thought. Only coming into this deeper dimension of stillness momentarily when they experience awe, or when something temporarily silences the inner chatter and clarity can shine through. So, best course of action, well, over time we can actually anchor more presence, more awareness into our experience here. We can actually learn to live more from these deeper dimensions and identify more from our deeper identity. So how do we do this? Time and time again, we lose ourselves in the dreamt up false sense of self. We lose ourselves in the stories. But time and time again, we remember. And this is our constant spiritual practice. We untangle our identity and we awaken the witness consciousness. We witness the conditioned stories of the mind simply by waking up in the midst of a story, and gently we allow the thought to float away while being present with whatever sensation the emotional body is feeling. So the way that I navigate this, the way that this looks for me, is lost in thought, the stories are banging on and on and on, and then bam, okay, oh, these are stories of the mind. Okay, so I've made this switch into the witness, into a great remembering. And this in and of itself is super powerful. So then I stop the momentum of thought by simply acknowledging out loud or in my mind stories of the mind. That's all. Stories of the mind. And there's a great freedom, a great relief that comes from this. I don't have to believe what they're saying. My mind is playing tricks on me. Whoa, that was really loud thunder. I don't know if you heard that. And then I come into the present moment. So I rise above the stories, I come into the present moment, and I just surrender into the feelings and any inner sensations, and I remain alert. I witness any thoughts that are coming and going after this. And yes, eventually my awareness will get sucked back into the stories, but time and time again, we return to the bigger picture. Witness, be present, surrender. This is the magical formula that transforms our awareness in any given moment. For more information on this, please see my video titled Simplifying Spiritual Practice, 3 Powerful Reminders. You may choose to identify the core narrative behind a relentless thought and write it down. Look at it on the paper and contemplate your essence identity. Come into stillness and feel as this story loses its power over you. We must also remember to simply observe thought without judgment. Observation is simply observation and nothing more. It sees, and that is all. And remember that the present moment is your best friend, and it is always with you. Fall in love with it. And finally, know that the mind can be used as a powerful tool to question itself and to deliver you back to your true nature. In any moment, simply ask the question, who is aware of these stories? Okay, so it's really going for it now. Crazy thunder, crazy rain. So apologies if you can hear that. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name's Jasmine. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. And I really look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye 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 bye.